Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful AI Podcast, brought to you by Perfect Corp, the leading provider of AI and AR solutions in the world of beauty and fashion. This podcast explores the many ways AI innovation is enhancing the lives of consumers and creating a more beautiful world. Join our host, technology thought leader Wayne Liu, as he talks with industry leaders about the AI innovations influencing the world today. If you're interested in learning more about the transformative impact of AI, keep listening.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Beautiful AI Podcast, where we explore the intersection of artificial intelligence, beauty, and digital innovation. That's a place where the beauty meets the technology. So I am your host, Wayne Liu. I'm the Chief Growth Officer and then the President of a Perfect Corp. So today actually is interesting. So we already talked about in our previous episode, we talked about AI a lot. And then actually in one of my article, which I just published in the Forbes, I have like a 5 innovation trend. And one of them actually is immersive technology, which immersive technology is still there. You know, people not talking about metaverse that much, but the spirit and the technology is still there. And actually it's going strong. So today we actually have this episode to talk about immersive technology and skincare. So that's a very interesting topic. So today I'm very happy. I'm very glad to invite two industry innovators into our podcast. So first we have Valerie Vacante, which is my friend. So we've been in many podcasts and events and this panel together. She's from Dentsu. And also we have Lindsey Scales, who is the Associate Director of Acne Skincare at Galderma. Okay, so welcome to my show.
Thanks for having us, Wayne.
Yeah, so today we have a very interesting topic, which I believe the audience will be very excited about. But before we jump into that, why don't you tell us more about yourself and then probably your job and then also related to the digital. So let's start with Valerie.
Yeah, sure. And thanks again for having us. So I'm Val Vacante, VP Solution Innovations at Dentsu. And my role's all about creating new products, productized services, but also working with the world's most beloved and innovative brands to help uncover the white space and create what's new and what's next.
Great, thank you. And then how about Lindsey? So what's your role in Galderma?
Hey, Wayne. Hey, Val. So my role at Galderma is I'm the associate director over our acne skincare brands at Galderma. So that role sits within brand marketing, and I'm over the consumer acne brands here at Galderma. So that means Differin Acne and Cetaphil Acne. And just a little bit of context, as a brand marketer, that means my team and I work on commercializing new products for the market, the advertising and the brand communications, and also just the brand's overall strategy and how we're going to move forward into the new age.
That's great. So let's just dive in. So gaming, skincare, education, separated, it's all very popular topic. It's among all these like a Gen Z and Gen Alpha. But now we actually blend these three together. We are talking about using a gaming platform to do skincare education. Okay, so why don't we start with the Lindsey? So just tell us more about the brand and Differin to launch this acne skincare experience on Roblox. It sounds very exciting. Tell us more about it.
Sure. So I'll kind of go back to our origin story, if you will. And I met Val in the spring of last year. And I'll be honest, I was kind of feeling like our marketing plan was in a rut and I needed help to pull us out of it. And in comes Val, and she is just a whirlwind of inspiration and innovation. And she has really been my partner in crime to make this possible, to bring to life a new plan. And, we both agreed that the best marketing inspiration comes from consumer insights. And consumers were definitely the nexus of this new different level up campaign that we're taking into Roblox now. And it came from a few things. 85% of people between the ages of 12 to 24 are going to experience acne at some point. And so that's the brand side of it, right? That's where our audience is. But then we look at where they're spending their time, and we saw 90% of Gen Alpha and Gen Z are actively engaging with gaming content. So it's just like you said, there's a blend. So we have this Venn diagram of here's our audience, here's where they're spending time. And that intersection for us in this campaign was gaming. And gaming has been it's an iterative testing space for Differin. And it has been, since I met Val the spring of last year. And We've done everything from partnering with Twitch, where we've done a live stream,
Yep.
different duo with Fortnite streamers, Chica and Nick30. And this year, as you said, it's about the next test, and that's Roblox. And I love that we're able to educate on acne while also entertaining and playing things that feel fun and native to what these users already want to do. And of course, Roblox is a rapidly growing platform, and innovation is at the heart of Val and I, and we always want to try to be where the future is and at the edge of the next technology.
Yeah, sounds very interesting. It's lots of
Yes.
gaming stuff. So let's go to Val. So when we talk about gamification, right? So a couple of things about gamification people talk about is fun. It's of course it's fun, interactive, and sometimes can be a little bit addictive. But the purpose is really trying to get the experience and then for the consumer to get some skincare education. So I know in this activation, you have a level up lobby. So just tell us more detail about all the features which can help the user to learn, because learning education is still the goal to learn in a very meaningful way.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I kind of dive into the experience, just one thing to share with the audience here, and that is there are oftentimes misconceptions with Roblox, right? Like a lot of people think, oh, it's for little kids or smaller kids. But in fact, there's 60% of Roblox players are 13 plus. So when you couple that with the numbers that Lindsay mentioned, it makes sense for our community. Now, to your question in terms of like, hey, what is this level up lobby? What is this gamification? With that, we created the level up lobby. And what's nice about it, it's you go into this interactive space and you enter this dome and it's packed with 3 skincare education mini games. So one is a foam blaster. So, you go in there and you got your like power pack packed with, of course, different cleanser, right? Just different 10% benzoyl peroxide, maximum strength cleanser to get those pimples off the faces that are sort of floating around. The next mini game we have is Power Patch Splatter. And what's fun about this one is it's sort of a rhythm game. So for anybody who's played Dance Dance Revolution, aka DDR, it's a similar type play experience where you're timing and you're sort of throwing your power patch, onto the face. And then the last one is the Zit Zapper. And what's really fun about this, it actually has some great sound effects. It's like, bzz, when you're playing the game. But the Zit Zapper, it has these hovering faces, and it's all about educating on different 10% benzoyl peroxide spot treatment to zap those zits. Now, when players finish those mini games, and they are quite short also, but when they finish them, they get this lovely glowing aura around them for a little bit of time to shine from their skincare education. But then they're also rewarded with a gift box that's packed with a power up for the game that they're already there to play. So that was a really important point for us, was not to go and build like a completely separate world, but to build a skincare education space and place in the games that people are already at and know and love. So we're actually going to be across 5 different games.
Wow, that's awesome, right? So it's like a lot of gaming experience. And then even like when I hear about that, I'll probably have a motivation to log in and try it out because it seems like it's really fun. So let's talk about gamification from brand's perspective. So Lindsay, I guess you do this gamification. Of course, you want to create the link, right? Make a relationship with your target customer. And also you want to get engaged in the very like a deep way, right? And also get them to motivate. As I said, motivation is really important. So you have this mini game and all kinds of things, inspiration that get a reward. So from brand's perspective, okay, so how do you think about like using a gaming platform to engage with customer? And also, what do you really see from that engagement?
Yeah, so it's a lot about making the advertising and the communications fun. Gone are the days where we can just yell at consumers and say, this is what we want you to hear from us. We have to find ways to make it entertaining, or honestly, it's just going to get blocked out and a part of the periphery of a person's day. And we don't want to be on the periphery. We want to engage with them as much as possible. So, my desire for marketers and for myself and for my teams is that ultimately we become better communicators. It's about that conversation. We have to be talking to the right people in the right place at the right time. And that's not easy, but gaming is a new opportunity to do that. It's a new way for brands to talk to people. And, there are going to be lots of brands to try it. And it won't work for all brands, but I don't fault any brand for that. I think a lot of marketing is trial and error and finding, where your messages resonate and make sense and become sticky and not just something that's blurring past them.
Yes, absolutely. Trying, yes, especially for the marketer, it's lots of things out there, right? So you need to make a selection, you need to judge it, then you try it. So just this one for Val. We talk about, marketer may have a new opportunity to use in game, but from like your agency perspective, you working with many, or your company working with many brands. So can you discuss this digital experience on gaming for brand in general?
Yeah, for gaming in general, I think it's about being at the right place, right time, just keeping it to those traditional marketing tactics. It's a right place, right time, right platform, and really identifying, like Lindsay talked about that Venn diagram, right? So we knew a lot of our audience are acne sufferers. We know that same audience is in the gaming space. So really creating that experience. And it's really having that same lens no matter what brand we're working with, right? So every brand's going to have their own consumer nuance. It might be a convenience store to an apparel brand to a different sort of consumer product snack item, but it's really understanding the consumer, the product, and then marrying it with the right platform. So like Lindsay said, we had done some work with Twitch. We teamed up with those streamers, Nick A30 and Chica. We did some experimental shopping stream, and it was the first different duo that we did where people could actually watch the streamers and gameplay experience. But hey, if they wanted to learn more about the product, they could shop on the spot.
Yes, absolutely. So it's more like a gaming provide a new vehicle for the marketer, but the marketer really still need to think about like your brand DNA, what product you are offering, what the audience you have, and then think about this holistic, then merge into the gaming, using gaming as a platform to offer the best, and then start to make it a connection. And then you say, it's a lots of opportunity because it's the right location, the right place, and the right time for the right audience with the fun. Okay, so I believe that's the one for the brand. And also let's talk about community, because we know Roblox is, and many of these again, is about community. It's about community, it's about engagement, it's about support. So probably this one just for Lindsay first, for this difference Roblox activation, and would it align with the brand's broader mission for empower customer and then foster confidence? And also, how do you do that?
Yeah, so I think it's important to talk about confidence and acne and how that can look different for
Yeah.
all different types of people. So confidence when you have acne doesn't necessarily have to mean 100% clearer skin, but confidence comes from being in control of their breakouts and not letting the breakouts control them. So giving them the power to control, what their skin is going to look like the next week, the next day, the next month. And so that's where this activation got really fun and interesting, is helping consumers experience the products that would put them in control of their skin. So like Val mentioned in the different level up lobby on Roblox, they get to interact with different products so they learn about them. So whether they're washing away their troublesome acne with the benzoyl peroxide cleanser, using our power patches for the emerging pimples, or if they have a situation where they have something that's popped up and they've got a date night coming up or a big event, they can use the spot treatment with benzoyl peroxide to help that go away quickly. Ultimately, it's helping consumers know what their options are depending on the type of acne they're dealing with so they can fight it and get back in control of their skincare.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, it's through this education process, you empower the user and make
Yes.
them more confident.
The knowledge is empowering.
Yeah, empowering in a fun way. So that's great. It's amazing. And then just for, well, same question, but it's a different angle. So for community, right? So as a creator, you create this one from the agency perspective. So how do you make sure this experience remains inclusive and welcoming? So people come here, of course, we're willing to learn and we empower them. So they need to feel like a welcoming. So do you have any like a trick or skill to get into that part?
Well, with that, I think it's from a community perspective, it's really being in those different pockets where our target is. So, for example, we talk about community and Roblox and really building that confidence there. But there's also communities when we think about Reddit, which is another place and space that we went to, and we saw a huge increase in conversations and chatter around acne care and gaming when we ran that campaign. And then just in some of our other data we have, we know that obviously acne, it's not fun for anyone. There are, I think, 42% higher risk of people having depression who do have acne. 60% report that decrease confidence and 58% feeling lonely. So this whole notion of you can go into the Roblox level up lobby, have that skincare education, and build that confidence and do it with, your friends.
Yep.
It's what we're really hoping for. And then on top of it, we do have data showing that confidence does in fact increase through gameplay. So
Yeah. So especially, of course, it's not fun to have acne, but if you see the community, which has a sort of like a similar problem issue you are facing, they become a very like a supportive strength to support you. It's not like you always look at some of the social media, see the perfect person, right? But you see people actually, the real person, people has their own issues. We try to face that. So as a community, we encourage each other and then we try to conquer that problem. So that's great. That's a community. That's really the spirit of a community.
yeah, one thing, Wayne, also to add, I know we have talked about the Level Up Lobby quite a bit, but one of the things from a community aspect that we did at the end of last year, we were really talking about it from IRL to URL, in that we actually went to TwitchCon and had the Differin arcade there. So all the
Okay.
arcade games that you know and love, but also with acne education, sampling. So you already had this sort of community who rallied around gaming, who rallied around streaming, who were actively having fun, but also getting hands-on with the samples. And we even had a dermatologist, in addition to Twitch streamers, but a dermatologist on site who was doing Q&A with the group.
If you're interested in this conversation and want to learn more about AI solutions for your business, consider booking a demo with Perfect Corp at www.perfectcorp.com/business. Contact us today and see how our selection of AI and AR solutions can take your business to new heights. Now, back to the episode.
Yeah. So basically you make this virtual, like a game, online gaming become in-person game. So it's more like omni-channel, right? So offline, online, online, offline. So that's great. So actually that's the dream of a marketer, right? So you can do online, you can do offline, and people engage with some kind of a same idea. So that's great. And then previously, so you talk about numbers. Yeah, at the end of the day, we are running business, right? So it's still numbers very important. So let's see, you talk about some mini game because one of the things the gaming really offer is instant gratification. They do the mini game, they get a reward, they're happy. So do you have any insight about this mini game, the challenge and reward, and then the linking to say like a data? So how do you see the engagement with the customer?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can first talk about why we arrived to the Roblox. This is actually the sort of a continuation of the success we had late last year. So really good news to start there. So when we started the campaign late last year, as we mentioned, Twitch, Reddit, TikTok, Activision, Blizzard, and more. Now, we increased engagement and awareness by double digits. We had 240 million impressions This next one, okay, I like Lindsay and I love this one, okay? Because we increase purchase intent by 5,800%. And we increased conversion, right? Wayne, like you said, we're in a business. So we increased conversion by 52%. So not only creating awareness, but people are buying the product.
Yeah, that's really never heard of. You get some kind of a digital activation, probably the program campaign, probably you get 10, right? 10% is already pretty good, but the 50 something percent never heard of. It means that it's very successful. Hey, congratulations, by the way. So then we talk about business from brand perspective. So the question is for Lindsay, is how do you measure the success of this kind of a really innovative marketing campaign, the digital one?
I think any good marketing campaign starts off with working with your agencies and your cross-functional teams to set KPIs or key performance indicators from the beginning. So looking at what do we want the success of this campaign to be, and then what are the specific metrics and how we will measure that success. And not only that, but establishing the benchmarks for those KPIs up front so that you know at the end, we met it or we didn't meet it, and then you can do a postmortem on why those reasons and drivers were. So for example, with the Differin Level Up campaign, we're really interested in getting new buyers to the brand. We want to introduce our brand and the acne solutions to a whole new generation, new audience. So that's an example of a measure that we can use, new to brand buyers, to make sure that our message is reaching new people, new audiences, and more people are finding out about the solutions our brand can offer them.
That's great. So it seems like this one actually get very success in many different ways. So first is a consumer like it. Okay, you achieve your engagement emotionally make an emotional link with your customer. And also on the business side, you see, oh, this is a great number. So overall, I guess it's a very successful engagement. And then, so we already have a very successful one. So talk about future. Okay, so we are talking about, we always, this podcast is about future, thought leadership. So we talk about the future of a digital experience. It's a perfect call. So we really on the beauty AI. So we actually with Galderma on this AI activation, this on this Cetaphil. It's a different brand, but same thing. We're using AI to engage, to measure the skin. So I'd like to ask both of you about your thought on the future of a digital experience in especially the beauty and the skincare. So probably let's start with the Lindsay. So where do you see this immersive platform like a Roblox or other, involving the new next couple of years, and also how you feel about probably potentially incorporate AI and all kinds of things. So let's start with the Lindsay.
Sure. So I see the future of beauty and skincare in the digital world being centered around personalization. Consumers don't just want to know about the product, but they want to know why it will uniquely work for the challenges that they're facing, whether it's dry skin, redness, acne. And I'm actually surprised, Wayne. I got to work on the My Skin by Cetaphil AI skin analysis tool many moons ago when it was first starting up at Galderma. I was on the Cetaphil team at the time. And so I got to be a part of that project. And I think it's a great example of the future where digital and AI and beauty and skincare meet. Because with the AI skin analysis tool, which you can go on Cetaphil.com right now and try, you're able to upload your picture through a photo, and the technology assesses your skin and then provides you a tailored skincare solution. So again, if you need redness reducing products, they will offer that regimen. If you're dealing with acne, then you can see the Cetaphil acne regimen to go along with it. Because consumers want to know why this will work for their unique situation, so they don't have to do the hunt and pick in the aisle all by themselves.
That's good. So it's provide the personal experience and then also do the personalized recommendation.
Exactly.
So that's how I always say when we do a marketing as a marketer. So right now we are not doing the demographic. We are really look at the demographic of one, because everybody is unique. So you are different from other people. We cannot put you as a number. We actually look at you as you. So that's why that's amazing. Gamification, digital experience, and AI can actually help marketers achieve that. So as we approach to the end of this podcast, of course, I think we can talk about this round and round. However, the thing is, for the interest of time, we get into the final part of our the podcast. So usually, because we are in the beauty industry, we get a lot of successful female. It can be a marketer, it can be a scientist, it can be entrepreneurship. So I always like to ask you to give our audience some advice, especially, as a female in this digital world or as a marketer, give them. So if you are interested in the marketing or in this agency or in the skincare industry, so give them some advice. Let's start with Val.
I think for anyone going out in the field, whether it's beauty, technology, entrepreneurship, all the wonderful categories that you said, Wayne, I think it's really all about finding out what you want to do, make the plan, work the plan. That's really the super simple advice I like to give people. I also think it's really important to do your homework in terms of what are the type of companies you want to work for? Do you want to work for a big company or a small company? Or if you don't know, making a plan to find out how can you get experience, in those different environments. If you're looking at potential entrepreneurship, I think it's getting mentorship from different entrepreneurs, because being an entrepreneur is very different than, working in a small company or working in a large company. I think there are some misconceptions out there about working in emerging technologies and emerging places and spaces. I always like to tell people, you don't have to be like a software engineer or, have back-end coding skills or anything like that. There are way different areas. There's, consumer experience, UX, there's design research, there's creative design. There's so many other areas that people can explore, and a lot of people don't know about them. So again, more advice to just really go out there, look at the companies you're interested, look at the job descriptions, and also try and marry up what areas sound of interest. And
Yes,
then
yes.
make it happen.
Yes, make it happen. Just do it. And also, I totally agree, especially in this era, we call it like an AI era, right? So you don't have to be a software developer to get into this technology and then more like advanced innovation, because knowledge is important. So you have to have enough knowledge to support your motivation. So that's why, sure, I totally agree. So how about Lindsey? Can you give our audience some advice, especially you working as a marketer in the beauty brand?
Yes, this is a great question, Wayne. It's such an important one. I love that you asked it so we can help build each other up in the world. And, I answer this as a female marketer, but I also answer it as a mom of a 4-year-old girl and the things I think about every day raising her. And for me, my advice is do yourself a favor and build a network of people around yourself to help stabilize you when the challenges come. And I'm not saying you have to lean on everyone around you, but there will always be people in your life that can help you remain confident and be that anchor when those times will inevitably come. And it can be, a neighbor, a friend, a coworker. But I think what's great about the new digital world is it can also be your friends online, and that's totally okay. We see people playing games and they have a whole network and a whole community of people all over the world that they go to, not just for gaming, but they'll talk about their week and a challenge they face. So my advice to anyone, but especially females, is make sure you have that confidence network around you to support you, because things will get hard. You will face challenges, and it helps to have that community around yourself to get through it. You will get to the other side, but it never hurts to have someone on your side as well.
Yes, yes. So that's a great advice, especially so you are building a community, right? So like a Roblox is building a community, and this community need to be very supportive. And then also, it's not like every time you see somebody, they'll become your friend. You
Yeah.
may do some exploration, right? So just like we do the marketing different campaign, right? So you do a try and error. But if you get step back, don't feel frustrated. Okay, so because you have to believe yourself, and then there's just like not the right people. It doesn't mean like people are not right. So you just need to continue to searching and then seeking. And then eventually you will get this very supportive network, which I totally agree. Okay, so this has been a very a fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today. And then before we go, actually, we talk about this different Roblox experience. How can our audience to get access into that experience?
Yeah, we are launching at the end of this quarter, so we'll be launching in March on Roblox. We will be in 5 different partner games in the Roblox community, so look out for us on Newsmith, Teamwork Puzzles 2, Paradise RP, The Floor is Lava, and Carry a Friend, and look out for the Differin Level Up lobby.
Absolutely. And also, we will post this podcast in the linking, so we will tag both of you. So I believe our audience want to connect and then learn more about this experience and the work. They can definitely do that. Okay, so thank you again, Valerie and Lindsey. Thank you for sharing the insight. And then to our audience, thank you for turning on to the Beautiful AI podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, I believe you will. And make sure you subscribe and give us a review. Okay, so until next time, keep innovating, keep learning, and keep making more and more beautiful places with the AI and technology. Thank you, Val, and thank you, Lindsey.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you for having us.
We hope you enjoyed listening to the Beautiful AI podcast. To continue exploring the world of beautiful AI and technology innovation, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to join us for our next episode.